Third time trying to make this video. So we wanted to make this video just for our story, and it's going to serve a couple purposes for our family and for our future family to be able to kind of hear our story and how we met. And then for people coming out of town for our wedding, but we really just wanted to make this for us, just to kind of tell people our story and then how it led up to the proposal.
We met about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, when I was doing my administrative residency at Brooks. I was finishing up my master's degree, and Tracy had been working there for a number of years already. So we got involved in a couple of projects and committees, so we were always kind of seeing each other in the hallway and in meetings and such. I kind of had a crush on him before he probably knew who I was. But one of our mutual friends, Mackenzie, we were out one night at Cooper's Hawk. She was just kind of talking, and I think maybe she had been cooking this up for a little while, I'm not sure, but she was like, I'm gonna text Tracy because I just think y'all would be so cutie together, and those are her exact words. So cutie together.
Never say that again.
Yeah. So she texted Tracy when he was in a movie with a couple of your friends.
Yep, right before the movie started, during the trailers.
And the way I remember it, she said to Tracy, I am sitting here with your future wife. And I guess that was true. So you texted back and you're like, oh, what in the world are you talking about? What are you doing? And she was like, I'm sitting here with Lindsey Miller. I just think y'all would be really cute together. You know, later on after the movie, you guys continue talking and... Yeah,
I asked her some questions and whatnot, and I said, I'm looking for a girl that I can bring home to my mom. That kind of thing. I knew I was looking for, so I was very specific.
Well.
So yeah, her and I were texting, and she said, this is her, this is exactly who you're talking about. Lindsey gave her the okay to give me her phone number, and I texted you, and we kind of talked very briefly, and then set up a date to go to Taco Lu, which is a Mexican restaurant in town, the beach, very, very popular.
Yeah.
And it's not like a swanky first date either. It's like a nice first date, like where you can talk, and it's not
it was really
too
nice.
high class or anything like that.
It was right before a hurricane, so it was...
Yeah, it was the week of Hurricane Matthew, so that was another interesting factor.
Yeah. Fast forwarding.
I met your parents in February 2017.
Yeah. Met your parents probably a couple weeks after we started dating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh yeah, we went to Cooper's Hawk. Yeah, we went to eat.
We like that place apparently.
Yeah, seriously.
Almost 2 years.
So October will be 2 years.
Yeah.
And we got engaged on June 4th.
Yes.
In Yosemite National Park.
So yeah, we started planning a trip out west to California, and our main highlight was going to be Yosemite National Park. So we counted down the days, and on June 3rd we flew out there and we did Yosemite National Park the very next day, that Monday, June 4th. So we got there super early, like 6:30 in the morning, because there's so much to see.
The first place we stopped at was Bridalveil Falls, which is a really big waterfall that you're standing almost right at the base of it.
Really close.
Really beautiful. I thought I was going to do it there, but it just didn't feel right. Just do it right in the beginning. I knew I wanted to do it that day and not later in the trip, because we drove up to the Oregon coast all the way up to Seattle and stuff too. And there would have been plenty of good spots to do it there too, on Oregon coast. It's amazing. But I wanted to do it at the beginning, and that way the rest of the trip could be kind of a celebration. Yeah. And plus I would have gone nuts having to hide that freaking ring. On the trip, her ticket didn't work at the TSA line.
No, they made me go all the way back.
So they said, you gotta go back and get your ticket fixed or whatever. And I was like, okay, do I do the right thing and go with her?
No.
And then I was like, but I can get through the TSA line, and if they say anything about my bag and I have to search my bag and they see the ring, I don't want them to be pulling that out and asking, what the heck is this? And then you're right beside of me. So I was like, okay, go fix your ticket.
It was very dumb.
So that was a little nerve-wracking. But anyway, so I wanted to do it at the very beginning, and Yosemite National Park is really big, but a lot of people go to Yosemite Valley, which is where a lot of the hot spots are. We saw a lot of the hot spots early in the day, but then you can drive up to what's called Glacier Point, which is above the valley, and that's where I thought, okay, I gotta find a spot to do it here, because you can see a lot of the most beautiful spots. She loves waterfalls. I was gonna find Yosemite Falls, which is two waterfalls that are kind of on top of each other, and you can see them both perfectly. So I was like, I'm gonna have to find a spot where there's not a lot of people around and do this and make her think I'm just gonna take a picture or something like that.
It was the longest picture ever.
Yeah, I was taking a long time to set up my camera and all that because I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I get my camera set up? Because I was gonna record on my iPhone and my camera, and then have the case, the ring case in my pocket, which was, you know, it stuck out huge. So I had to like make it, and I had to make sure I walked up on your right side. Now's a good time to probably just show the footage of the proposal, right?
As good as time as any.
Okay, so here's the footage of the proposal.
Tracy was setting up his camera and he goes, you know, go stand down here on this rock, and like this giant rock, and if you go any further you kind of fall off the mountain, basically.
It was interesting.
It was pretty steep. So I go and stand on this rock and he's like, all right, I'm just trying to get my equipment set up, so just bear with me for a second. He's like, just stand there, I'm gonna take a couple pictures. So I'm standing here like basically on top of the world. I mean, there's like mountains and waterfall, it's literally heaven. So I'm just staring at that for a second and I'm like, can I turn around now?
No.
He's like,
no, you can't.
No, still working. So eventually he came out and stood right next to me, and you know, we were just kind of standing there for a second and just kind of soaking it all in.
Yeah.
It was absolutely gorgeous. We could have stayed there for hours. So, you know, we're standing there and he turns towards me, takes off my sunglasses and puts them on my head, and I'm like, what are you doing? Don't touch my sunglasses. And he's just like, no, I just want to see your face. I want to look into your eyes. And I'm like, okay, that's cute. So he says, I like you and I love you, which is from one of our favorite TV shows that we first watched together, Parks and Rec. It's what the famous couple says as their wedding vows on there. And then he goes, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and gets down on one knee, and then I just like instantly was like, oh my God, and I like cried.
It was so, I don't get nervous too often, and especially with you. But for some, you know, at that moment, I was just like, and it's like, I don't know what I'm nervous about. I guess it's just like screwing up, or yeah, it's just normal nerves.
I could feel your heart though, like pounding through your chest. And there was only one other time I've ever felt your heart like that, and it was right before you kissed me for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like,
he's nervous.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening? So that was like really my only premonition. Other than that, it was a complete surprise. I like you and I love you. Goodbye.
Is it I love you and like you, or like you and love you?
I like you and I love you.
But how did I say it in the thing?
I like you and I love you.
Did I?
I don't know.
anyway, we interchangeably say I love you and like you, or like you and love you, but it doesn't make a difference really. But it's important to love and like someone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can, we all love people that we don't like, you know, family members or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's important to like people too.
I hope you like me.
We just wanted to share this video to our future family and to our current family. And we thank you guys for watching and for being a part of our lives.
Yes. Yay.
Thank you.
Bye.